All right, I've got to respond to Mr. Superstench up here. So, how much did it cost to impeach Trump twice? That price was okay, but this is not two-tier pricing, I guess. Well, as I said many times in my videos, to operate Congress, it is $2 million a day. $2 million a day. That doesn't change. There's no two tiers thing. The only two tiers is the justice system in prosecuting someone like Donald Trump, because they have to walk on eggshells, because all of his followers basically are, kind of, like yourself. And here we go. With the Trump impeachments, they had a bunch of stuff called evidence. Evidence is something that Republicans aren't familiar with, obviously. That's usually something in documentation with backup documentation. Supporting evidence is what they call it. And the supporting evidence is basically testimony by witnesses. First-hand witnesses, has to be first-hand. Otherwise, it's called hearsay. Hearsay is what you have when someone goes, a lot of people are talking, and they have a whistleblower with a no name that never shows up. And then when they finally do find these whistleblowers, they find out they're being paid by someone, in one case named Kash Patel, who worked for Donald Trump in the impeachment of Joe Biden. And beyond those two whistleblowers that were paid is nothing, because that was all their evidence. That's called unsupported evidence. That is called a false filing. That's actually against the law. But in order for anything to happen, they have to be prosecuted by themselves, and they won't be because, law doesn't matter to Republicans. But let's get back to this. Okay, as far as the Trump impeachments were concerned, there was a line of people, a line of documents, Republican facts with Republican given and supported evidence every step of the way, very much like these 91 charges, 91 indictments. He's got grand juries, which, in case you didn't know, are a whole bunch of people, both Republicans and Democrats, that actually get to see every little piece of evidence. And after reviewing every little piece of evidence that I've never seen, you've never seen, most of the Republicans pretend that they never saw. After seeing all that evidence and hearing all the testimony, they vote guilty or innocent. Every single one, unanimously. I know it's more than a two-syllable word. Let me break it down. Unanimously means every person in the grand jury, every one of them in all four grand juries, said he was guilty. 100%, beyond the shadow of a doubt, guilty. That is how it becomes the case that it is today. And then it goes on to the other courts. So that's how we got here. So when you're talking about the Trump impeachments like it was nothing, or the Trump cases like it's nothing, all it shows is your, let's just say, focus on fact, which doesn't exist, because I've read your comments. I've seen your page. So your preceding comment to this gem was going after a teacher, talking about putting down an educator, someone who's dedicated her whole life in educating kids, which obviously you must have missed in your journey. So let me point out, number one, that's disrespectful. Number two, you go after someone who's 10 times more intelligent than you are, at least, and someone who actually cares about facts. And if they're wrong, they will research it and change their opinions, because they don't rely on Jesse Waters or some Cheeto god in a fake podium talking about windmills giving you cancer and pissing off the whales and driving the whales crazy so they beach themselves, or how you should drink Lysol if you have COVID, because Lysol's the only thing that'll actually kill COVID. Maybe that's what you did. Did you listen to him when he said that? I mean, Lysol did have to put out a press release after that. First time in history. A company that creates poison had to put out a press release saying, don't listen to our president, don't drink our product. The first time in history. See, Donald Trump likes being first. He's first on that one, I'll tell you right now. He's also first with all the indictments and all the criminal charges and everything else. And the first to try and actually, January 6th, what you said, a family vacation, right? Was that your family vacation, January 6th? Anyway, I'm sorry, I regress. Back to your comment. The two-tier anything is justice prosecuting Donald Trump, because enough brilliant people like yourselves that believe you need an M16 to go hunting and shoot a deer get so angry when presented with things called facts and evidence. Evidence is what's been missing in every single attempt, like the Mayorkas impeachment, like the Biden impeachments. Remember those Biden impeachments? There was that smoking gun, those two whistleblowers, nameless, faceless evidence. Of course, that's how Trump rolls. Everybody's talking, and then when it comes down to it, there's nothing there. You know why? Because it never existed. But he talks just enough and he repeats it just enough that people like you and your red-hatted comrades fall for it. Trump said himself he loves the uneducated. Trump also said you repeat something enough, people are going to take it as fact. He has you programmed. I'm so sorry you don't see past that. But it doesn't give you a right to attack anyone that does see past it. It doesn't. Because we have freedoms of speech too. And I can make a video responding to your comment. And if people like my video, great, they'll tell me. If they disagree with me, they'll tell me that too. And I'm fine with that because I'm adult enough and I'm human enough to know I could be wrong on my opinions. And I have an open mind to listen to any other receipts, facts, evidence that anyone wants to bring up to me to say, hey, you were incorrect on that. And I will change my perspective and I will admit that I was wrong. That's something Republicans don't know how to do. That's something you certainly don't know how to do. So when you go back home or wherever and you go on that website and you read this wonderful Valentine's Day message from Donald J. Trump to his wife that he cheated on God knows how many times, proclaiming his love for her, even though they haven't slept in the same bed in probably decades, for fear of, I'm sure, the whole syphilis thing. But anyway, that right after that love, when he asked you and your clones to show your love for his wife and show support for his wife by donating once again to a billionaire. So his wife can pay $500,000 in a year for hair and makeup. Hair and makeup. $500,000. $1.7 million for his private jet, which, by the way, is the same jet that he did another fundraiser on because it hit turbulence in the air once. Now, turbulence, again, a 3-syllable word, so I'll break it down. It's like speed bumps in a plane. If you've ever been on a plane, I guarantee you felt it. But Donald J. Trump thought his plane hitting turbulence, he deserves a new Trump Force One. Trump Force One, it'll be magnificent, the bigliest, bestliest plane ever. And you people donated to it. Stop the steal. You donated. The 50 million other grifts, digital trading cards that you could just push save and get the same product that everyone else paid, not everyone else in your team, paid $99 a piece for. He's playing you. He brags about loving the uneducated because he knows you're easy to manipulate. I'm sorry that there are people that want to learn the facts and you refuse. I'm sorry that you think because you got a little red-hatted club going, red hat, white teepee hat, whatever. I don't know if it's a time of the week thing where you come from, which hat you wear. But anyway, I'm sorry that it doesn't penetrate those two caps of choice. The bottom line is, you do not come on my page and disrespect people. You do not come on my page or go on anyone else's page and act like a keyboard tough guy. Because when facts come through, you're the one who looks like an idiot. Because facts are facts. They can't be swayed. They can't be manipulated. Evidence is evidence. And the reason everyone wants these trials to go away and not to get to a judge, because they know the evidence is beyond the shadow of a doubt. And 4 dozen strangers, Republicans and Democrats who saw all that evidence, said beyond the shadow of a doubt, guilty. That's the process. But I wouldn't expect you to know the process either because, you got this thing against teachers. So God bless you. Stay diligent. Get educated. But be kind. Because united is the key word. Part of the country.